Wake up at 4 a.m., hustle, grind, never, ever sleep. We live in a modern culture that absolutely glorifies the noise. We're constantly told that prosperity is just the simple math equation of endless hours plus brute force. But what if the ultimate path to true wealth is actually the exact opposite of what hustle culture demands? What if the real shortcut isn't found out there in the noise, but in the absolute deepest depths of your own inner silence? Welcome to today's Explainer, where we are breaking down the profound core principles of cosmic alignment and the metaphysical approach to prosperity. Okay, let's dive into this. Think about this for a second. Do you know of literally any billionaire who doesn't believe in a higher power or isn't connected to it in some way? It's a huge paradigm shift. We usually think of wealth generation as purely logical, right? Spreadsheets, market analysis, relentless networking. But when you study the truly wealthy, you find a really surprising common denominator. They submit to the hands of God, the higher energy, the universe, or whatever power you personally believe in. It's the one most of us usually only call upon when we're gripped by fear or desperation. But the ultra-successful, they recognize that we're all just a tiny speck of His divine existence, and they tap into that immense power proactively, every single day.
So let's break down exactly what that looks like in practice. On one hand, you have the chaser. They're driven by the physical world of grinding, totally powered by noise, constant hustle, and inevitably deep-seated doubt. It's like they're pushing a massive boulder up an incredibly steep hill. Now contrast that with the attractor, who operates purely in the metaphysical world. They are driven by inner silence, deep trance, and absolute peace. Listen closely, because this is absolutely crucial. The most successful minds do not chase, they attract. True wealth just isn't born in the noise and hustle. It's created in the depths of your inner silence.
Because as the old wisdom goes, in the depths of darkness, a doorway of light always appears. When you finally stop that constant mental chatter and just quiet your noisy mind, you clear the channel. You're sweeping away all that mental static to actually receive the highest cosmic inspirations. That darkness or that silence isn't something to be afraid of at all. It's the quiet void where true groundbreaking ideas, the kind that generate immense wealth and lasting impact, finally have the space to emerge and be seen. So what do we actually label this state of being? It's called cosmic alignment. We define this as the state of placing oneself in a vibrant field through stillness, where your vibration aligns with unlimited prosperity. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it takes a deeply spiritual idea and presents it almost analytically. It completely shifts your paradigm from endless, exhaustive physical effort to pure energetic alignment. You aren't forcing the universe to give you what you want. Instead, in stillness, your vibration aligns with the unlimited prosperity that already exists out there in absolute abundance.
Let's look at the actual mechanics of this. What does the daily practice of the wealthy actually entail? Well, first, it requires you to surrender completely to the higher energy. Second, it requires submission in a state of deep trance. And third, it involves worshiping in private stillness. This is the literal science of surrender. All the truly wealthy worship from the bottom of their hearts, but they don't do it for show. They do it in the deep trance of their own private stillness, acknowledging that they are surrendering to the immense flow of the universe.
Now you might be sitting there wondering, okay, this sounds incredibly peaceful, but how does it actually accelerate my success? Well, consider this. Meditation is the shortcut that bends time. So the crucial point is that sitting in silence isn't a passive activity, it's highly active. By entering that quiet state, you completely bypass the friction and the exhausting trial and error of the purely physical grind. Meditation directly helps you climb the ladders of wealth because it places you squarely in that vibrant field of cosmic alignment we just talked about. It accelerates your intuition, your decision-making, and your ability to attract the exact right people and opportunities. It essentially bends time in your favor. So how does this build into a practical framework? We can distill all this esoteric wisdom into 3 actionable habits that you can integrate starting right now. Step 1, surrender completely. Just let go of the ego's need to micromanage every single outcome. Step 2, practice gratitude every day and night. This consistency is exactly what keeps your frequency high. And step 3, meditate to bend time. Moving through these specific steps daily is what physically and mentally anchors you into that vibrant field of cosmic alignment. It takes a grand philosophical idea and transforms it into a very concrete, doable daily routine.
But hold on, there is a massive caveat to all of this. The universe never rejects a pure and sincere heart. And this brilliantly illustrates the strict requirement for this process to actually work. You cannot game this system. You can't just sit in silence plotting selfish, greedy maneuvers and expect the universe to hand you $1 billion. No way. Sincerity is the key that unlocks the doorway of light. A genuinely pure heart actively attracts prosperity because it's operating on the highest possible frequency of trust and abundance.
Which leads us directly to a critical warning from our source material regarding what happens after the wealth actually arrives. You have to fiercely guard your inner light, protect your purity, maintain your kindness, and above all, beware of pride. The source material is incredibly clear about this specific trap. When you achieve that immense success through cosmic alignment, it is so easy for the ego to step back in and try to claim all the credit. But pride disrupts the silence. Pride breaks the alignment. You must rigorously protect your kindness and your inner light to sustain the prosperity you've attracted, making sure you don't fall right back into the noisy mindset of the chaser.
As we wrap up this explainer, I really want you to sit with this ultimate takeaway. Silence the doubts, feel the peace, and let abundance find its way to you. You honestly don't need to shout louder than the rest of the world to be heard by the universe. You just need to be quiet enough to hear the universe speaking back to you. So my final provocative question for you is this. In a modern world that is absolutely obsessed with grinding and noise, are you brave enough to step into complete silence today and finally let true prosperity find you?